Alright, today I thought we could try to make some neon signs. So here's one I made earlier, and I'll just demo one right after this. So I'm just gonna hide this one. Okay. So I would suggest finding a reference or creating a design for yourself. I'm gonna make a pizza one, so I have an image. I'm gonna go to add image reference. For first, I'm gonna make sure that I'm looking in, I guess, my y-axis, or just making sure that it's flat on or x, whichever, but that it's flat on, so that when I go to object, I'll go to add, image, reference. I'm going to make this pizza one. And I'll just bring it back a little. So that way it's just straight right here. And what we're going to do is I'm going to use curves. So if we add, we're going to do a curve, and we'll do the Bezier curve. So we should have a curve right here. I'm going to go into tab, and I'm going to press A to make sure I have everything selected. Then I'm going to press X to delete those vertices. And what we're going to do now is there's the draw freehand spline tool right here. So if I click that, I could just start drawing my curves, and you can see we get some shapes. So if I go back to move, I could just adjust these to make them look a little bit better. So there's these two handles at the end, so you could also move those. All right. So once you make the adjustments that you like, there is the curve data option right here. It looks like a little green curve. So if we click on that, under geometry, there's a bevel option, and we're just gonna extrude that a bit. Let's see if I could. There we go. Okay, great. So I got my first curve. We could add a material to this. So I'll hit new. What we're gonna do is where it says surface, we're gonna click on that green dot, and we're gonna change this to an emission, right? And I'm just gonna make that green. Maybe I'll do 10 so it looks like it's glowing. And then I'll just name this green. And one thing we want to make, okay, and then we can just continue drawing more curves. So I'm going to select my draw curve again, and I could just follow these shapes. And then again, I can start adjusting them and moving these points around to get the curve the way I want it to look. And I could add a new material, and maybe I'll just pick my green and duplicate it, and this one will be like yellow. and I can make it yellow. And then if I hover over this and hit L, I can assign it so that can be yellow. And we can just continue from there. That one, oh, sorry. We're going to use the draw. And again, we can just adjust our points to fix anything. Just make everything more straight. And we would just continue from there. If you want them to be like different thicknesses, we would have to separate them into a new mesh, into a new curve. So you can see now this is a new curve. So we can then also, you know, if I want to make this a little bit thinner, we could do that. And then you go back into tab. We're going to use the draw, and I could draw the rest of this like cheese. And then again, we could just straighten out and fix the parts that we want to fix just by moving these points around. Right. And I could draw these circles. And then again, just fix what I need to fix. And if I just hover over them, I'm just going to press L. And then I could press P, and I'll just separate these so I have a new one. And instead of being, let's see, I'll get rid of this green. So let's get this one. Let me hit tab. I'm gonna get rid of this green. I'm gonna duplicate this. I'll turn this to red. There we go. And then I could also change the thickness in the curve under bevel. Maybe we'll just make that a little bit thinner. And maybe I'll round this out a little bit more. Right. Right, so I have that. Let's see. Or we could make, so we could also just create new curves and it will be the same thing. Bezier curve. I'm going to hit tab, I'll press A, then X to delete those vertices. Then I could use my draw, and I could just draw these lines here. Right. Right, and then again, we can just move the points to fix the curve shape. So just moving the points around till we get something that looks the way we want. That's probably good. Then again, we go to curve, we go to bevel, we can increase that bevel, and then we can change our texture. I'll just pick that, I'll duplicate it by hitting the new material, then I'll type blue, and then I'll just change this to blue, right? And then we just write our pizza sign. So we would just draw that. I'll leave that out, but the last thing we want to do, if we're using Eevee, under our renderer, we just want to turn on bloom. And you can see I'll hide this image. So now you can see we have this glowing pizza, although my pizza's not yellow. So let's, there we go. So we can get like cool looking effects. We can make our neon sign. So let's try to make a neon sign today. If you want to make a brick wall like I had before, I just created a plane. I'll scale this up. Let me rotate this R, X, 90. Let's push this over here. So if we go to shading, right, I'm gonna pick a new shader. Then I'm gonna go to search. There is a brick texture, right? I'll just connect that to color. Color to base color, and then you can see you have the colors here. So I could pick like a red, and then maybe another red. And then I have this nice brick texture, and we have our nice neon sign. So try to make a neon sign. You could design your own design, or you could find some inspiration for something and use an image.